devastation he's blamed on forest management.
That's the good, strong forest management which I've been talking about for 3 years.
As he met with California Governor Gavin Newsom in a stop added 2 days ago, the trip only emphasized Trump's reluctance to accept climate change.
Trees fall down after a short period of time, about 18 months. They become very dry. They become really like a matchstick. Also, leaves. When you have years of leaves, dried leaves on the ground, it just sets it up.
Scientists have concluded it's greenhouse gas emissions from burning fossil fuels that are making the fires longer lasting and more damaging.
Is there a climate change issue in California?
You'll have to ask the governor that question. I don't want to step on his toes.
But please respect, and I know you do, the difference of opinion out here as it relates to this fundamental issue on the issue of climate change.
Former Vice President Joe Biden said Trump doesn't listen to the experts.
Give a climate arsonist 4 more years in the White House, why would anyone be surprised if we have more America blaze?
The president's visit coming after he held a rally with thousands of people indoors yesterday, blatantly defying the governor of Nevada's order limiting indoor gatherings to 50 people. Many in the audience weren't wearing masks, and Trump openly mocked the governor's restrictions.
And if the governor comes after you, which he shouldn't be doing, I'll be with you all the way.
Trump told the Las Vegas Review-Journal that the limitations didn't apply to him and he wasn't worried about getting COVID-19 from being in the room.
No, I'm not concerned. I'm more concerned about how slow you are.
The revelation that Trump knew the dangers of coronavirus came from Bob Woodward's book. In new audio obtained by CNN today, Trump repeatedly asked Woodward how the pandemic would affect his re-election chances.
So you think the virus totally supersedes the economy?
Oh, sure. But they're related, as you know.
A little bit, yeah.
Trump also told Woodward nothing more could have been done on COVID, despite what Dr. Anthony Fauci told Jake Tapper in April.
I mean, obviously, you could logically say that if you had a process that was ongoing and you started mitigation earlier, you could have saved lives.
Your dad started working with Donald Trump when I think you were 11.
Yeah.
And do you remember what you thought of your dad's boss, Donald Trump, and what you thought of his job back then?
As I told Emily, we lived in a Trump-branded building. I remember seeing commercials for The Apprentice on TV, and I knew my dad was working for someone famous, but I think that's the extent of the realization at the time.
So it was cool. I mean, I guess at that time it was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But at some point, I think well before your dad got ensnared in all of this, your impression changed. And what was that? What happened?
There were a few instances that changed that impression, and they happened over the course of a few years as I got older and as I started to realize how Trump treated my father. One of which is in the book where my dad explains what happened at the golf course.
Let me read that. Because I mean, I think that this one is illustrative also. Basically, you were at President Trump's, well, he was with Donald Trump, his country club. And you were playing tennis and you came off the court. And here's how it was written in Vanity Fair. Somehow Trump's attention was diverted to another skirt walking off a tennis court. Quote, look at that piece of ass, Owen recalls Trump saying as he whistled and pointed. Quote, I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha. Do you remember that moment? Because it goes on to write that after that you came over, he wanted you to give him a kiss, and he said, when did you get such a great figure?
So, as I told Emily, the story is a little bit less clear to me. I'm sure many women can relate. You become desensitized to men making these kinds of comments to you, and you allow them to go over your head and you kind of tune out the noise. But what stood out to me in that moment was he said to my dad, well, there's no way that she got her looks from you. Thank God you married a beautiful woman. And I was desensitized to men making creepy comments about me, but I was not desensitized to someone blatantly insulting and degrading my father in front of me, someone who I looked up to and loved very much. And that was very upsetting to me. And that made me think, okay, maybe Trump doesn't treat my father so well.
And I do want to get to that in a moment about the way you treated your father. But first, back to that for a second. He also, I mean, at least in the book, it says that he said to you, be careful, I'll be dating a train in a few years. He was married to Melania at that time when he said that to you. Did you ever get the impression that he was hitting on you?